model, not his thing. Got in a mod, lit it on fire.
Right.
He liked it. It's really,
But
like Dom said, are you the hobbyist or are you going to try to go make a living
at it? For the average guy, and this is when I say, why would you build an A mod versus a sport mod? Okay, these are guys, and look at the guys talking here. We're talking about Gray Ferrando and Brad Newsom and the guys from the Weinbarger stables, the guys from the upper levels. Okay, I get where they're coming from talking about, well, we're racing against the elite drivers. Yes, you are. You absolutely are. But the level of competition is every bit as good in that sport mod division, and you're doing it for less money. See, that's where the question is, why? I mean, when you're not going to have the big shows.
You're not.
We understand that. But if a guy wants to race a modified and save money and be just as fast, and we've seen track times prove that these cars are just as fast, if not faster, under certain conditions.
Well, that's what I was asking about the modifieds, because I was talking to Sam and Mac about that, and they says, well, your 3-link on a tacky track, you can go in a turn fast.
But you
absolutely. Don't have as much drive.
Right.
So these were different conditions, like we were looking at qualifying times. That's where we're getting different.
So great. I know you're listening. Let me ask you a question. Why can't a guy take a sport mod and move up to run against
what is the IMCA
mod? What is the barrier there that they say you can't do that? Why? I'd like to know the answer.
That's
a legitimate question. Why? I understand why you can't move down, but why you couldn't move up.
What is the difference between
I think it's because they do have a spoiler. They do have a spoiler. Sport mods do have a spoiler. Now, if you take a spoiler off a sport mod,
body's still shorter.
Well, but it's still IMCA legal. Mm-hmm. That's an interesting question. I'd like to get a hold of an IMCA rule book and just kind of. So the entry fee is the same, tires cost the same, and payout is half or less. Okay, so
because I was trying to look it up as well.
Entry fee is the
certainly
same.
Not doubting it, but I'm just trying to.
Tires cost the same. Payout is half or less. One license that you have. Okay, so it goes upon your IMCA license. One is license. You have to declare A mod or B mod. Spoiler is the main thing, right? So basically, if you could have an A mod or you want to call them an A mod or a B mod, you can only be licensed in one. Is that right, Gray? Mm-hmm. But if you took the spoiler off, you could actually move it up.
Okay. Can you run a crate motor in a B mod?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
So if you could run a crate motor, you could run a wing, right?
But I thought you could only run a 2-barrel in sport mods.
See, I don't know that.
Right.
Again,
these are questions we're trying to figure out.
That's why I asked the question. Why would you? And I understand that Okay, correct.
So
Gray says correct.
Yeah. So you'd have to. You probably could, but why would you? Well, I mean,
why would
if I'm a B mod driver, I'm not gonna take the thing that I've been learning in and want to step up. I'm gonna go build a new car or get a newer car and go that route. Why would I?
So IMCA does not allow you to run both divisions.
Okay.
You got to declare one or the other when you get your license.
Okay, so how does that work with all these street stocks that are coming in that are the IMCA stock cars now?
I don't know. But
because Roberts just ran
Sport mod motors. Okay, and this I want to know why. Sport mod motors cost more than a crate.
Okay.
Because I know a lot of the guys we talked to, they were running like a 358.
Okay.
Sport mod 602 crate is allowed, and a 4-barrel. Open has to be a 4-barrel. That doesn't make any sense. Has to be a 4-barrel on an open motor. Wouldn't you want a 4-barrel on an open motor? Did you mean a 2-barrel?
Because here's my question. So you're the hobbyist.
You can't run a 604. You can only run a 602.
602. Yeah.
Which makes sense. I understand that. That's.
So there's nothing to say that if a car was a B mod, that the hobbyist guy says, I want to run mods.
Open has to be a 2-barrel.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
open has. Okay. So that okay. I get it.
I'm trying to understand all the differences.
Well,
as
and
well.
we are.
Yeah.
Okay. So
it's basically a wing. They're choking the horsepower, and you can only be
licensed in one of the divisions.
Sure.
Divisions, and it's a 3-point mounting system for the
right. Seems to be. So the only applies to mod. You can run a mod and a stock car, just not a mod and a sport mod.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
Fair enough.
That's fair enough. So
you got everybody all lit up. The thing's going off. The text messages
but
are
this
coming
is good.
in.
This
this
is what
isn't
this show is
negativity
about.
or anything.
No.
We're trying to understand.
And I'm actually learning from these guys,
Yeah.
so it'll make us better behind the mic. But
Absolutely.
It's the question is, why would you? Why would you build an IMCA modified over an IMCA sport mod?
Well, for me, if I'm wanting to run a full season and have a bigger chance at big money, I'm probably going to run an IMCA mod.
I get that.
If I'm going to run a limited schedule, have fun at the track with the wife and kids and run around and do all that stuff. I don't have wife and kids, ladies. Keep that in mind. I'm probably going to do a B mod or sport mod. Sorry,
Okay.
Gray. I got educated before, so.
This is coming from Gray Ferrando, the
snake.
The initial investment, he says, is probably $4,000 more for an A mod versus a sport mod. But after that, it's cheaper to run an IMCA modified versus a sport mod. That is new parts cost. He's talking new parts. So dollar for dollar on new parts, he's saying in the long run, after the initial investment, that an IMCA modified is cheaper to run than an IMCA sport mod.
Well, there's probably more parts out there where the sport mod is going to be less parts. Does that make sense?
But see, I think one of the biggest costs on these cars, comparatively speaking, would be shocks.
Yeah, because
Correct me if I'm wrong. Are the sport mods only allowed? They're only allowed to run a steel body shock.
Steel body shock is pretty much, I believe it. Yes.
See, and this is the argument I knew we were going to get from a lot of people. Mods pay
Discussion.
way more. Well, you know what I mean. I don't mean argument, discussion. Mods pay way more to start and win. Okay, and this is part of the discussion we're talking about. Okay, do they, when you look at the cost overall from an A mod to a sport mod? Because these A mod guys, okay, you got to run steel body on both. Okay, these A mod guys travel a lot more.
Yeah.
You got to count that expense in when you're racing.
Oh, yeah.
Your travel expenses are big, especially when you're traveling like a lot of the guys we're talking to.
Yeah, we see Gray at Bakersfield. We see Colin at,
They go down to Arizona.
This is a lot of traveling.
They do travel. Okay, you got to figure that in. B mods can run bulb style, sport mod can't. Okay, all right.
What was that?
Mods can run
The
bulb
shock.
style.
Okay, shock.
Talking about shocks. Mods can run bulb style. Sport mods can't.
Okay.
Okay.
Steel body on both.
So it's interesting. There's. I knew we were going to get into this, and I was looking forward to this part of the night on this show because
I tried not to do too much research because I wanted to be educated by the proper people.
right,
as
and
to
there's a
what-
lot going on here. I'm surprised, and again, not ever having built one, the difference is only about $4,000 when you're talking dollar for dollar new parts. Okay, I mean, there's a few guys, and we saw a couple of them there at Willamette that build a brand new. I'm talking new parts.
Right.
On sport mods. I don't think a lot of those guys actually do that.
Right.
There's a lot more of the IMCA modifieds that do that because they have to be competitive. That's what's good about this sport mod division is you don't have to do that to be competitive.
I know a guy doing that though. He's actually building a sport mod, brand new car.
Yeah. We'll see what he does with it.
Nothing with you two.
Come on.
It's an interesting discussion, and I'm glad that we're having it because there's some stuff here tonight that I've learned that I didn't know.
Yeah.
I didn't know. And again, I'm not going to say something if I don't know.
Please don't think I was trying to say I knew anything. I'm trying to learn just as much as anybody.
And that's what this was about. And that was a legitimate question. Why would a guy do it? Okay, again, I think your argument or your part of the discussion comes in financially for a guy that considers himself more of a hobbyist than a serious racer, like Bryson James, Colin Weinberger, Gray Ferrando, Bobby Hogue.
We
Robbie
know that's
Sawyer.
not going to be the case with them.
That's not your average racer.
But I'm saying, okay, we decided to go racing. Well, I can afford a year 2000 Pro chassis. Okay,
Right.
It's got a 3-link or whatever.
Yeah.
You could do it.
And I think that really, because I mean the cars are fairly similar, but they're a lot different at the same time. But what surprises me is you look at the lap times.
Yeah. That shocked me.
Anybody that's going to... Here's the thing, though. You'll probably start seeing these IMCA street... What are they?
The stock cars.
Stock cars.
Right.
See, I haven't even paid attention to that yet. You'll probably start seeing them start cutting into some of the slower times that the sport mods. I mean, you're looking at... Once someone figures out their setup in their car and they're going to get faster. They're going to get faster. They're going to get faster.
That's going to be the case. I bet you there's been super sports that have run as fast as a late model at times.
We've seen super sports qualify faster than late models a couple times.
Again, same, just a little different.
Right.
Know?
But, and then, again, that's typically when you see that, talking about those two cars, when you see that, it's typically different because the track the super sports get versus what the late models get. It's typically they get a little better racetrack to work with. Mm-hmm. Saturday night, we saw a pretty consistent racetrack throughout all of qualifying with the sport mods with faster lap times. Well, one of them, Jordan Broughton, clearly the fastest car there on the clocks. Now, I'm not saying that they're any better.
No. Well, I kind of feel like you are, and I kind of feel like you're going to need security when you show up at the track again.
No, listen, I'm not saying that the sport mods are any better. I'm saying that they're very, very comparable in lap times and the bang for your dollar.
That was the phrase, yeah.
That's kind of the thing I'm talking about. The bang for your dollar in the long run, I think, with a sport mod. For the we're talking about the average guy here, okay? The average racer that's not going to compete on a national level or travel much like some of the guys we're talking to. I think they're going to get a better value.
Your hobbyist.
Out of the sport mod division. And there's going to be guys that'll disagree with me, and that's fine.
Mm-hmm. I hope they do.
That's what this, I mean. Opinions are we accept them here. It's not there's nobody right or wrong in this deal. I'm actually excited to watch the sport mod class grow after what we saw Saturday night.
Yeah,
we knew they were getting good, but what we saw with the quality field
just that and the surge of all these cars.
Right, that was the thing. Seeing finally a full
pack.
Yeah, it was good. Now we know what we were going to get. We know what we were going to get with the A mods.
Yeah,
we knew we were going to get a hell of a IMCA modified. Sorry, we knew we were going to get a hell of a race. We knew we were going to get a field packed full of talent. We know that. So I think we were a bit surprised with what we saw with the sport mods.
Well, I remember you saying to me, "Look at this." I'm like, I don't even get it.
Yeah, because and that's what spurred this whole deal. Was it didn't make sense to me.
No,
being limited in the sense they are.
Yeah,
that they were faster.
Yeah.
Do you give a race car driver a box car and he's going to figure out how to make it faster?
You're right. You're right. But there's some things that just shouldn't be. And I don't mean that in a bad way. I'm just saying you look at this and there's just some things that shouldn't be. And I saw that and I'm like, wait a second. That shouldn't be.
Yeah.
It doesn't make any sense. But if you look top to bottom, the times were...
Yeah.
You could say the same with the supers and the IMCA mods. There was a couple of those guys getting right in there with the supers.
Well, that's a whole different deal. You got
you're not comparing apples to apples.
No, you're not.
These aren't apples either.
Yeah, they are.
Well, there's a red apple and a green apple.
Okay.
Oh my God.
that you're really close. Though we're not pulling off the same tree, but we're talking about apples.
You're real close to getting to 3.
I live on 3.
I don't know what that is. You guys keep talking about 3.
He is going to blow up when I get him to level pissed off 3. He's going to turn around and he says he's just going to react. So I've been waiting for 5 years for him to do this.
He's been to 2.5 a couple times.
Yeah, and I have too, and usually in a group of people, and he doesn't want to go back to prison, so he turns the launch.
I've never been to prison. God dang.
Oh, you let that out.
Oh, yeah. Sorry, that's on social media now.
That's terrible.
Well, that one time.
Yeah, you just got the 2.
2, yeah, just like that. So,
going back to the discussion, though, I know where you would go, Sam. I know where you would go.
Yeah, I'll probably build more of them, too.
What would you do, Dom?
Well, truthfully, only because I was brought into the sport with the Inca mods, I would probably stay with that.
Okay.
Only because I've watched progression. I like to see improvements.
Right.
I like to see things be able to change and get faster and faster and faster, handle better, things like that. You are limited. Even though the time